evening, everyone, and welcome back to Laughing Place Television. My name is Doobie Mosley. I am the co-founder of Laughing Place and your anchor on this evening's event coverage. We're covering a couple of events at the same time tonight, both coming out of Southern California. We'll be covering the red carpet for National Treasure: Edge of History, a show coming to Disney Plus very soon. And we will be covering the new exhibit for Walt's plane that is going to be at the Palm Springs Air Museum. The plane has been there for a bit, but they're officially opening up the exhibit around it today. So we're going to be covering both of those live tonight. See how much of that we're able to bring you. Red carpet for National Treasure: Edge of History, and Walt's plane exhibit at the Walt Disney Palm Springs Air Museum. But first of all, we're going to start with some sad news. Don't know if you heard yet. If you haven't heard, I'm sorry to be the one to bring it to you. One second. But actress Kirstie Alley, who is best known as Rebecca Howe on Cheers, passed away at the age of 71. There is a Disney connection with Miss Alley. She starred in the Disney television movie Toothless. You may remember that one. Right, it's just happened, and I'm not as up. So it's 1997 made-for-TV movie that aired on The Wonderful World of Disney on ABC. And Kirstie Alley was the star of that. That's her major Disney credit. But of course, she was best known as Rebecca Howe in the long-running NBC television show Cheers, and which, funnily enough, played a part in Mickey's, I believe this was Mickey's 60th birthday. I don't want to give you wrong information, so let me just look that up again real quick. Sorry. I didn't have this as ready as I should have, but Mickey's 60th birthday, which was broadcast on television, and Kirstie Alley played her Rebecca Howe character from Cheers, and that her most well-known character. So passed away today at the age of 71. She died after a short battle with cancer, it says. Actually, not sure. The news came out today. I don't 100% know that it happened today. I don't see anywhere saying that it happened today, only that it came out today. So very sad news there, of course. And if you get a chance to watch Toothless, I don't think it's on Disney Plus, unfortunately, but if it is, this might be a good time to watch it. One other item I wanted to mention. I think I did. No, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go out to the red carpet now. We've got Benji out there, and let's see what's going on with the red carpet for National Treasure: Edge of History. Ben, how are you doing?
We're good. We're here at the red carpet at the historic El Capitan Theater. You can see the marquee right up there. We're gonna have full video later. Alex is gonna be doing interviews. The red carpet just opened. They're just starting to come down. We haven't met anyone yet, but we're here getting ready to meet the cast.
So red carpets, I haven't done one in a long time, but my recollection of how these work is you get a ton of people that aren't in the film, but still of some note, and then towards the end, the actual cast and director and such for the film come down the line. Do they still work that way?
It does, but they prioritize we prioritize the cast. So, there's a lot of other influencers and celebrities from other products, but we're really here to hear about the show. So that's who we usually try to focus on. It's a little bit different for television than a movie because the casts are typically bigger. So, in terms of the representation here. And sometimes those other folks just do the photo calls. But so primarily we get the cast. We don't typically get a lot of the supporting folks.
I forgot to switch myself to Wi-Fi before we started, so I might hiccup for just a moment while I make that switch, but I'll be right back. I didn't hiccup. That's amazing. Okay. Cool. And you said thus far no one has come down the line, right?
Nope, they're just starting to arrive. You can head down. You can see. You can't see because there's people, but the cast is just starting to make appearances. It takes a bit, and we're kind of towards the end, so sometimes they get a little rushed by the time they get to us. But Alex will be doing full interviews. You won't be able to really hear from here, just the way technology works around here. But we'll try and get little snippets to share with you as we go. But want to bring some of these sights and sounds. Just in just in about a week or so, they'll have the red carpet premiere for Avatar: Way of Water as well. So it's gonna be right here as well. So there's always something happening. In fact, Jimmy Kimmel Live is right down there as well. So lots going on.
And National Treasure: Edge of History, of course, is a show on the Disney Channel. It premieres on December 14th, and that's not it.
It is not. It is not on Disney Channel. It's on Disney.
I did not mean to say Disney Channel. I meant to say Disney Plus. I actually do know where it's at. On Disney Plus on December 14th. Sorry. And I think it's a good thing maybe show the trailer real quick. So we're going to pop up the trailer for National Treasure: Edge of History.
This holds a clue to a treasure of utmost importance. I thought about destroying it 1,000,000 times.
Look at these symbols.
In order to prevent it falling into the wrong hands.
The daughters of the plumed serpent were here.
So we're talking like an honest-to-God treasure map.
Yeah.
Where did you get that necklace?
It was my dad's. He died when I was a baby.
What is it? That's the symbol on your necklace.
I know.
What if I told you everything you know about your dad is a lie?
Knowledge leads to an important treasure, and searching for it is dangerous.
I know it is.
This is cooler than any room on any episode of Cribs I've ever seen. Ben Franklin glasses? Oh my God.
I want that relic.
Everything I thought I knew about my dad, my whole family for that matter, is a crazy riddle that can only be solved by finding this treasure.
Trust no one.
What's your clue? I would love to help out.
And that is National Treasure: Edge of History, new series coming to Disney Plus on December 14th, starring Lisette Oliveira, Breton Wool, London Smith, and from the films, Justin Bartha. So let's cross our fingers. Maybe we'll get to see some of them tonight. Checking out here. Anything new to report there, Benji? We've got our other event underway. So I'm gonna, in fact, yeah, Jeremiah, you're coming. So anything before we switch over to there, Ben? Probably not. Sorry, I had you muted. Sorry about that, Ben. Anything before we switch over there?
I just want to say, it's not to bring everyone down, but it's a little surreal to be on a red carpet line with entertainment journalists when the news comes out that an iconic celebrity passes away. So it's definitely muted the enthusiasm here, but we are still trying to focus on the show.
Understand that. Okay, so we're going to pull you down. I've got him in the green room. Anything comes up, I'll pull him up right away. But in the meantime, let's switch over. We are going from Hollywood, California to Palm Springs, California. Jeremiah at the Palm Springs Air Museum. How are you doing?
Jeremiah's over there.
Oh, he can't hear me.
He can't hear you.
We're here for Walt's birthday.
Can you hear him?
No.
Barely. We probably better talk to you.
Here, step forward.
Okay. It's Walt's birthday. We're here at the Palm Springs Air Museum. Jeremiah is about to eat some chili, which is really the lead of this story.
So this is Walt's chili here.
This is Walt's chili. We're going to watch Jeremiah try a thing. Better or worse than the shrimp on the halcyon? And then behind Jeremiah is the real reason why we're here. It's Walt's plane. The Mickey 1, I believe is the name. Mickey Mouse 1. Mouse 1. Here at the Palm Springs Air Museum, now on permanent display here. after it was at D23 Expo.
Yes, it was at D23 Expo. We actually had some pictures of it there already until I rebooted my machine. But sorry, I'll be with you in just a second.
All right, you can see it here also if you're watching it.
Anyway, so this is the Mickey one. So it's at the the Palm Springs Air Museum, and the exhibit opens today. And any significance to today and why it might be opening today?
I'm guessing because it's Walt's birthday. That's probably why.
Yeah, I think that's why they did it that way. So today is Walt's birthday. Oh, I got it. Thanks, Gio. I'm good. So I just wanted to give some idea. We can see how it's being displayed there. Give some idea of how it was displayed down at the Anaheim Convention Center. Because, why not? So, let's go this down there. There you go. You can see it's the same plane.
Exactly. It is the same plane.
So
unless they swapped it out on us.
And so what is the exhibit other than the plane? At Convention Center, I know they had like some seats and some paraphernalia from the plane. Do you know?
Yeah, let's go take a look at that. So there is an exhibit in addition to the plane itself. So here's the table set up for the event, the opening event this evening. There's the projection on the screen, Mickey Mouse 1, Walt's plane, presented by the Walt Disney Archives, Palm Springs Air Museum. And then over here, we're going to have some information about the plane. And
wow, this looks a lot like the Convention Center.
I didn't get to see that exhibit, so I'm really glad I'm here now.
Yeah, you are seeing it now.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently this is very similar to what they had set up at D23 Expo. But you've got model and some letters, some photos of Walt in his office.
I know they had at the expo, they actually had a chair from the plane. Do you see that?
Let's see. Yes, here's the chair, cabin chair and window.
Very cool. You can just imagine Walt sitting in there. That's pretty cool. And also at the expo, I don't know, can you see the screen? Can you see what I share my screen? Mike?
Are you sharing it right now?
No, I'm about to. So
okay.
I got this picture at the expo.
Yes, I see.
Do they have this there?
Boba Fett is not here right now.
Okay, so that was unique. That was unique to the expo. But, otherwise, it seems pretty similar.
There is an X-wing in this air museum. It is not, as I said to Jeremiah, it is not to scale, nor is it to it's not too accurate to the screen either.
Aww.
But it's in the like kids area, so I'll forgive them.
So again, this is at the Walt Disney. I keep saying that, the Palm Springs Air Museum. You guys took some pictures outside and tweeted them. I'm going to show those really quick. Yeah. Get an idea of where you are. So cool. I'm such a huge airplane fan, so this is very exciting.
Oh, they have some cool ones here. That's for sure. They had the Memphis Belle. Remember that movie?
Yes, absolutely.
They have the plane from the movie, not the original plane that the movie was based on, but the one from the movie is here.
I think I've seen the original plane at the Smithsonian, so that's pretty funny. They have the movie plane here, which makes sense for California. Awesome stuff. Are they selling any merchandise related to the Mickey Mouse one here?
Not that I've seen, but we haven't gone in the gift shop, so maybe we'll find out about that tonight. But here's a wider look at the room. Walt's plane is in the back corner over there, and there's another couple airplanes in this hangar as well, and then there's a bunch out on the tarmac. I'll show you outside over here.
Oh, man. My mom lives in Palm Springs. I'm going to visit this place.
This is out back behind the museum. I'm not sure what the names of these planes are, but you can see there's another one over there, and they're just lined up. And there's a
runway over there.
Yeah, that's the actual airport is right behind the museum.
Cool. Well, I know exactly where this is then. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully, if you guys get a chance to check out the gift shop later, for sure, we want to see if they have any related merchandise, and I'm sure you'll be tweeting that out. I also know, we'll come back to talking about Walt's plane, and I presume they're going to have a ceremony coming up later.
Yeah, there's a stage set up here. I guess they're probably going to be making some kind of statement or announcement or unveiling or ribbon cutting, something like that.
So hopefully we're able to bring you guys that. But on your way to Palm Springs, you guys got to check out Story Living. Not the dinosaurs.
Okay. I thought you were going to go to Amazon dinosaur.
I'm sticking with Disney, but you guys got to check out the future location of Story Living by Disney, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take credit for this one because as we were driving, I was talking to Jeremiah. I was like, hey, isn't that planned community being built right now, right outside of Palm Springs? And we looked it up and we found the address and we headed over there and we saw the big empty dirt lot. And there's one tiny sign that we took a picture of on the back of the construction site that actually said, what is it called? Cotino, yeah.
Yeah, Cotino, right there on Frank Sinatra Drive.
Yep.
So this is awesome. I'm going to say the first construction pictures of this site on Laughing Place. Way to go, Mike. I'm glad you thought of that.
That might be an exclusive, a scoop right there.
That's right. Cool. All right. Well, have you had the chance to get some chili?
I don't think I doubt I can eat this chili, unfortunately. I haven't asked yet if it's gluten-free, but I will.
What's the worst thing that could happen? Take a chance.
I'll just feel sick for a week, but.
All right, I'm gonna go back over to El Capitan, see what's going on at the National Treasure Red Carpet, and I'm sure we'll be back to you soon.
Okay, I'm gonna take this apart and take some still photos, I think. But
okay,
if you need me to jump on the stream, let me know. Yeah,
will do. Thanks a lot, Mike. Mike Celestino at the Palm Springs Air Museum, where they will soon be dedicating a new exhibit for Walt Disney's plane, Mickey Mouse One. It had been at the D23 Expo, if you saw it there, and now it's at the Palm Springs Air Museum. And we're going to go back to Hollywood again, where Ben Breitbart is on the red carpet. We see celebrities.
Yeah, we're starting to get some of like the influencers and TikTokers coming down the carpet, and this is the Ferrar family, whoever that is, but I'm sure someone who lives their life outside of Disney might know. But if they don't have a Disney series, I don't know them at this point because I'm a one-trick pony. But yeah.
So is that what when we used to do the carpet was preceded by smaller celebrities, younger celebrities, other Disney Channel shows. Is it just influencers and TikTokers now?
That's a lot of it. There's some folks, as you can see, it's kind of a busy season. In fact, we're going to be Alex will be on the red carpet of the Children and Family Enemies this week. And so there's a lot of folks. So this is actually, we interviewed this gentleman. He was in Sydney to the Max. You want Jackson?
Oh, okay. How are you?
So this is Jackson Dollinger from Sydney to the Max. Just so you know, if I switch the other microphone, I'm not gonna be able to hear you. But I'll switch to him. I'll switch to it so that you can hear me. You can hear him talk.
Learning. So I get going in and out of learning stuff. But what are your games?
Skateboard, and I would just kind of tilt on a board, on a carpet. And yeah, I would just keep practicing, keep going at it. You'll definitely be able to do it.
Do you and Malachi ever skate together? Because I watched some of your guys' videos and you're both so good.
Thank you. We've talked about it actually during the pandemic. We would FaceTime and we would take our boards, take the trucks and wheels off and play a game of skate on our carpets. But we definitely need to go to the skate park together.
I need to see that live version of skate.
Yeah, right? It'll be so fun.
Awesome. So we're here at the National Treasure premiere. Are you good at escape rooms? How good are you at puzzles and stuff?
I've been to a couple of escape rooms. I would say I contribute one solid thing to the group, and then I kind of let them do their thing. But it's always a great time.
Interesting. And what's coming up next for you?
I'm currently on a new Disney Channel show called Pretty Freaking Scary that's going to come out in summer of 2023. Life by Ella, the Apple TV Plus show that I was just on, just came out. And look out for the new Disney show. Tons of new music on the way too, and skate videos.
You're just keeping it in the family with Disney Channel, right?
Right. Yeah.
I know people still love Sydney to the Max. Now we're discovering it on, Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Do you still get fans that are like, hey, we would love it? I mean, it's pretty recent for there to ever be another reunion because you just finished. But like, what would you like to see for your character in the future?
For which show?
For City to Max.
For City to Max. Well, unfortunately, there aren't going to be any more episodes.
But I'm saying, like, further down the line, if we were to pick up again 10 years later, because we obviously know what adult Max is like.
Yeah.
But there's still an in-between of, like, 20-year-old Max and that kind of stuff.
You know, that would be cool if, like, Max down the line is, like, still skateboarding, you know? That would be awesome.
Well, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you, too. Hey.
You have a second for me?
Yeah,
cool.
Of course.
Hi, Jackson. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Now, you're at the National Treasure Edge of History premiere.
Yes.
Are you a fan of the movies? Was this something you were looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm super happy to be here. I mean, the carpet's super cool. I love action and adventure also, so I'm really excited to see it.
Now, obviously, fans know you from Sydney to the Max. I heard you have a new Disney Channel show. What can you tell us about that?
So it's called Pretty Freaking Scary, and it's going to be coming out in summer of 2023. There's not much I can say about it, but the Deadline article just came out, and it's posted on my Instagram, which is Jackson Dolan. You guys can go check that out. But I can't say too much, unfortunately.
Understandable. I know you've also got your music career going. Are you venturing into songwriting as well?
Yeah, so actually I just dropped a single produced, written, and recorded by me. I have like a home studio, so I just do everything myself. But definitely go check that out too. It's called One and Only. And on social media, you can find me at Jackson Dolan.
Cool. I will check that out. Thank you, Jackson.
Thank you. Thanks.
That was Jackson Dollinger. Most well.
Did you hear that okay?
Known. Yeah, that was fine. I was just wrapping that up. Jackson Dollinger from Sydney to the Max. Yeah, we heard it beautifully.
Yeah, you can also check the interview we did with him as well. It's on the Washington Post website.
Oh, cool. And of course, he just talked about how he's going to be doing a new show called Pretty Freaking Scary. He referenced a Deadline article about that, which I'm looking at right now. It's a multi-camera sitcom coming up next summer. 20-episode first season on Disney Channel and Disney Plus, according to Deadline. So pretty awesome. Off to a good start here on the red carpet.
It's interesting that a show that seems to have a scary element is debuting in the summer. It's a very hocus pocus.
You know, all good holiday things were actually done in the summer. Oh, cool. I typed in his name in our YouTube, and Disney Channel Fan Fest Street Party Cavalcade. I guess he was on that bus. How fun. So again, we are at the National Treasure Edge of History. So I like who. Do you know who the outlet was that interviewed him first? Because we caught that as well.
Shine On Media.
Shine On Media. So they asked him a good question about, is he good at escape rooms? That's very appropriate for National Treasure. That was a fun question. It's good to hear that. Definitely give them credit since we used their interview. You're welcome to use ours. Go for it.
We got Isaac here from Raven's Home, who I think we've seen grown up on our website.
Isaac Ryan Brown?
Yep. All right. Yeah, you never know if we're going to get a chance to talk to him, but we'll try.
All right. I've got my banner prepped.
Have you been to the Palm Springs Air Museum?
I have not. I did not even know it was there, which is pathetic because I'm such an airplane fan.
It's so
my
cool
mom used to
it's
live right next door.
It's like right at the airport. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Like you don't even need like an Uber.
So I do want to go see that, and even though it's the same exhibit as the Expo, it looks like I still want to go see the plane there.
Well, it's also cool just to see it from. It's a neat little museum, especially Palm Springs has such a history in and of itself. And fun fact, Walt Disney was actually one of the main supporters of the bond measure to get the Palm Springs airport built.
Really? That is I hope they mention that at the exhibit because that's a big deal considering we're
They
located.
mentioned that at a presentation I went to at the Air Museum when the plane debuted about a month ago. So it was something they discovered during the research for the exhibit, actually.
Oh wow, that's really cool. Gio, that is a great question. I did not get my invite, otherwise I would be on the carpet on the other side of the room. Must have got lost in the mail.
Okay, I'm gonna switch. It looks like we're gonna get Isaac, so I'm gonna switch back. Okay.
Okay. Coming up, we're hoping to be talking to Isaac Ryan Brown from Raven's Home. He plays Brooker
How
Baxter.
you feeling?
I'm well, how are you?
Good.
Oh, I look, oh my God.
Oh,
You
you
shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have
looking
did
at
that.
yourself the whole time. You looking good. You always look good. So we had some big episodes of Raven's Home recently. Tommy Baxter came back. What was it like having her on set?
Well, Mr. Keith Kirsten is one of the most talented people I've ever met in my entire life. And it's always fun getting people from the OG series to come back. They've always dropped bits of knowledge and things. And we always make fun of Rondell. He's kind of like, we laugh at him a lot on stage, but I feel like there's something we can learn from everyone, especially people that have been in this industry for 20, 30 years. So it was fantastic to have her there.
Who's that one OG person that's missing that you would love to see come back?
One OG person I would love to see come back. Well, it's always fun when Lisa comes back. It's always fun when Lisa comes back. I kind of want to see Little Man come back. I forget his name, but the little one, the one who was always running around doing it all. God, I forgot his name. Lil Bobby, I think. Lil Bobby? Bobby J.
Sounds familiar.
Bobby J. I would love to see him.
Now I'm so mad. I've never seen it. I know what you're talking about. So what's coming up with you? I imagine your music. What else is coming up?
Yes, ma'am. I released the EP in July, and then now, what's that? Oh yeah, I just released a holiday song like 2 weeks ago. I did a tribute to Nat King Cole's The Christmas Song, which was fun because it's one of my favorite songs growing up, and I was happy to be able to bring a new twist to it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you. You will.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I know you got light. Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Congrats on season 5 pickup of Raven's Home.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, did you guys know when you wrapped season 4 that this was coming, or was this a big surprise?
Well, when we wrapped season 4, I feel like, so this is my hair growing out now. We're in season 6 now. So when season 4 was wrapped, I thought we were done. So I went and I cut all my hair off. And everyone was like, Isaac, why are you cutting your hair off? I'm like, we're done. Try something different. Then we came back for season 5, and then I just left my hair short. But now we're back to season 6. I'm letting it grow back out. So I definitely was shocked, but it's always a blessing to be able to come back and do another one for the fans.
Yeah, and now I know you're big in music. Raven also is quite the singer. Any chance of a collab?
I don't know. Raven's really in her directing bag, and she's nominated for an Emmy this year for directing. So I mean, that's really exciting. I love music. I don't know if Raven. I would love to do another record with her, but if not, I'm just gonna let my big sister direct and do her, and she's doing fantastic.
Cool. And you're at the National Treasure Edge of History premiere. Are you a big fan of the movies? What are you looking forward to today?
I just found out like 20 minutes ago there were movies, so this is one big journey we're all going on together. But I'm super excited to see Disney do something new with their content. I love seeing new actors and new artists come to not to the channel, but to the Disney brand. It's always fun to meet new people. So.
Cool. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy it.
Yes, sir. You too.
Take care.
From the department of feeling really, really old, I just found out 20 minutes ago that there were movies. Wow. That was Isaac Ryan Brown from Raven's Home. Also did the voice of Wade, the famous Wade in the Kim Possible Disney Channel original movie.
I would say we've had him for a while, and he's one of the nicest young men you could ever meet.
One place you apparently didn't have him, though, was the National Treasure Book of Secrets red carpet.
Yeah, do you know what year that was?
I don't want to think about it. That hurt so much when he said that.
Any word from our Pasadena team?
They got off taking a bunch of pictures, and they said they would get back on when
we're gonna have a little bit of a break here. So
okay, I can give them a nudge.
I'll log back in when we get a little closer.
Okay, so let's get rid of you. Let's give the nudge over there. Nudge. Sorry about that. And I am going to bring on to help me out here my lovely and talented wife, Rebecca Mosley. How you doing?
Hi, sorry, I was backstage for a bit, but then I had to pop away. You guys are out on the red carpet in National Treasure?
We are out on the red carpet for the National Treasure TV series. I keep, you know me and names, Edge of History. I keep wanting to say Edge of Secrets. Edge of History, and comes to Disney Plus on Disney 14th.
Well,
December 14th.
I remember seeing the Journey to Storytelling exhibit at D23 Expo, and among the things you could do there was you could check out some of the stuff related to National Treasure Edge of History. So I am excited because there was like this bulletin board that seemed to display like the various artifacts and the stuff they're going to be seeking out. I think that we've seen this in some of the trailers, and in the trailer that you were showing at the beginning of the show, these glasses that we saw, you know, in previous films were also part of the fun, and they were on display there at D23. So it is almost time to finally take this journey. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. And it looks like over in Palm Springs they actually have a stage and someone talking. So let's get over there and see what we can live stream.
Disney himself, please enjoy seeing the history of the mouse. And we'll talk a little more later, but enjoy your food and your drink and watch John's new little toy.
I think modes of transportation were special to Walt.
He loved his toys and he loved his gadgets. Having an airplane was probably a great joy to him.
He had the enthusiasm of a boy on the airplane.
It was not only the plane that brought Walt back and forth to the New York World's Fair, but it was used for the research and figuring out where the Walt Disney World property should be assembled. It was the icon of our company at the time.
It's part of the company. It's part of the team. When we were restoring Walt's office, we had models of 2 of the planes, and I said, well, this is really interesting that he kept models of the planes. You know, he must have really felt strongly about flight and the planes.
Walt loved the airplanes, starting with the first airplane. Every minute he could, he was sitting in the co-pilot seat flying as first officer.
It gave him an opportunity to save a lot of time and to work and to put the right people together when he wanted to go somewhere. But he wanted people to use those planes. He really loves them.
Chuck Malone, the first pilot, was a very good friend of mine, and he was quite tickled pink that Walt picked up on everything so fast in that airplane. So I started this with my dad, Chuck Malone, and he was Walt's original pilot. When they decided that they had a need for an airplane, Walt talked to my dad along with Walter Bradley. They came up with the idea that the Beechcraft Queen Air was the best airplane. Walt had a very special interest in flying. He was very curious. He liked to sit up front. He liked to fly the airplane a little bit as well. His intense interest in a corporate aircraft is way beyond the president of most companies. And that extended all the way into the second airplane and certainly all the way into the Gulfstream.
You know, Walt being Walt, he wanted something that was faster and he could put more people in there and travel for the distances.
And very quickly, Walt said, well, let's get a bigger airplane, you know, a corporate airplane. Of course, the Gulfstream at that time was propeller driven. The Model G1 was the corporate airplane to have. It had Rolls-Royce engines on it. They produced roughly 2,000 horsepower each. And he didn't go without eating. There was a flight attendant on board, and they prepared hot meals. It was basically VIP service, and it didn't matter whether you were Walt or you were the Imagineer, whether you're a kid from Disneyland, you all were treated the same on the mouse. You know, all planes get called by whatever simple name you want to use, and all of the airplanes that Walt used, they all were called the mouse. When an aircraft manufacturer delivers a new airplane, it can come with either a tail number that's provided, which is very similar to a license plate, or it can be a personal plate. In this case, all aircraft registered in the United States start with N. My dad talked to Walt, and they came up with this idea, well, let's just put 2, 3, 4, MM. And in aviation talk, it's 2, 3, 4, Mike, Mike. But my dad used the call sign, Queen Air 234 Mickey Mouse, ready for takeoff. When we called in, they were thrilled. That's Walt Disney. He's going right through our control zone. So it was a two-way street. We had fun, they had fun.
So when you purchased the Grumman Gulfstream, it came to you from the factory in green, primer green, inside and outside. That allowed the purchaser to customize it to any way they wanted. They could paint the outside whatever color they wanted.
And you go take your airplane to a place that puts the interiors in, and you get to pick every detail that you want on the inside of the airplane.
The interior colors was kind of a neutral brown and a dark brown, and then there was a divider going into Walt's compartment that had the leaves from his trees on Carolwood. In the front of the airplane, in the midsection, that's where the conference table was, that's where the galley was, that's where the forward restroom was.
Walt did want to have it split into two. We're going to have a working office in the front. We had this table that had big eaves, and you could flip these eaves out and make a giant table out of the whole thing.
There was a compartment in the back that had a couch and two seats. And for all intents and purposes, that was a private quarters for Walt. So if he wanted to, he could close the curtain. He had his own bathroom. He could take a nap. He could read a script. He could have a private conversation with someone.
Walt sat in the last seat on the left side facing forward. And he had a little desk area there. He had a phone that he could speak with the pilots. And then up on top of the windows, he had instruments there, an airspeed indicator, an altimeter, and an 8-day clock that you had to wind up.
And he didn't stay seated very long, so he'd come forward and he'd want to sit at the conference table and he'd want to dig into the blueprints and the drawings and the scripts and talk to the creative people. Walt's seat was on the left side of the airplane, the same side as the pilot. Whenever the pilot maneuvered the airplane, he was also positioning it so Walt could see. So as you're flying around San Juan, Puerto Rico, and you're going through Fort El Moro, Walt is looking at the fort, which would later become the motif for Pirates of the Caribbean. In 1963, Walt ordered the Gulfstream. It was serial number 121, of which 120 had been ordered before. As part of the deal, he said, I've got a trip coming up. Can you provide a demo airplane? So they took off on about a 2-week trip. They were flying back from Orlando and they landed in New Orleans, November 22nd, 1963.
Unfortunately for them, when they were flying over Florida, John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and they only found that out after they landed. It was something that changed the world, and I've been told that before they landed, that's when Walt decided Florida is the land that they were going to buy to build Walt Disney World.
By 1964, we had this airplane. Walt had already encouraged people to utilize the two previous airplanes, so now the whole company is very used to what a tool this is. That airplane was used so much every week that within its first year, it was the highest utilization Grumman Gulfstream G1 in the entire world.
The first time I flew on Walt's plane was to New Orleans to do research for New Orleans Square. And it was a wonderful group of people. It was John Lynch, it was Walt and his wife Lily, it was Roy and his wife Edna, Bill Evans, the most marvelous man who did all the landscaping, it was Herb Ryman, who always had a twinkle in his eye. It was really a beautiful flight with all those friends. My job really was to go through every antique shop in the Bookery in the old town and find antiques and artifacts that we could furnish New Orleans Square with, and also the Club 33. We went from New Orleans to Florida when it was called Project X. It was a hole in the ground. Bill Evans, as I mentioned, was the landscape, brilliant, wonderful man. He had brought trees from throughout the world and planted them in Orlando so that they could harden off. And then when the park was being developed, they were ready to be planted and were good in that climate. So it was really for Walt to get a preview of the hole in the ground and Bill to look at the trees and how they were doing.
The New York Exposition of 1964 is the greatest World's Fair of all times. This is what we call imaginary movie park.
I used the plane to go back and forth to New York when he was working on the fair. They actually used it when they were planning the World's Fair, and then when they were installing the World's Fair, different attractions that Disney worked on.
Walt sent us all back to the World's Fair. Everybody who worked on it. Studio people as well, Disneyland people, and Imagineers on a 4-day trip. So we'd fly back to the company plane and spend our 4 days there and fly back.
Walt had a policy that he would fly people or have groups go to various world fairs or various places or events that were going on to learn. And if you think about Walt himself, this is how he would produce out of the air a suggestion that he had seen years before.
When we were doing a World's Fair, I don't know who it was that found a place in Grand Island, Nebraska. The people had a refueling station. You landed there, they rolled out the red carpet, and the wife of the man who ran the place baked a cake or cookies. It was like family. You went into this place, and all of a sudden they'd welcome you. And Walt loved stopping there and saying hello to those people. It's really wonderful. The plane was wonderful, and we used it so often in building Walt Disney World.
Orlando, the 27,000 acres. It was spotted from the air. It's swamp. You can't drive to it.
So the go-through was used to scout over land for Florida's theme park, which would become Walt Disney World. They had already decided that they were going to do Florida, but it was used to fly over to decide the layout of what would become Walt Disney World today.
In the late 1960s, I was working at Disneyland as a ride operator and attraction hostess. I was working Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, and Bob Matheson invited me and 9 others to participate in the press conference that would be hosted in Central Florida to announce the first phase of Walt Disney World. So in April of that year, we boarded Walt Disney's plane, and it was actually my first time ever being on an airplane. So I had no idea what was in store, but this was just the perfect way to be introduced to flying across the country.
As we got closer to opening of Epcot, we were flying very frequently, often several trips during the week. We would fly from Burbank to Orlando with a plane full of usually Imagineers on Monday, and then Friday we would load up usually the same Imagineers we had on Monday and fly back to California. Got to see Epcot built. My first trip, it was holes in the ground. They were putting infrastructure in when I was there on opening day. It was wonderful.
After Walt passed away, the plane was still in use by different executives, but they decided to use it for promotional purposes as well.
Twice a year it was used to promote the re-release of an animated classic, such as Snow White or Peter Pan. So a group of about 10 people would be put together at Disneyland, and they would go to a different city every day.
Out comes all our cast members pouring out of the airplane. The airplane becomes show business.
For Pete's Dragon, we were doing a special mall tour, and we used Walt's plane to travel to Kansas City. They sent Fulton Burley and Wally Bode from the Golden Horseshoe to be Dr. Terminus and Hoagie, and they put on a full show in the mall, and then people would have their picture taken. We got to fly on Walt's plane. It was a thrill. It was great to be carrying on that tradition, using that plane to promote films that had the Disney name on it.
In addition to publicity tours, the go-through was used in feature films such as Now You See 'Em, Now You Don't, and The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, both starring Disney legend Kurt Russell. It was also used in contests too, which was really interesting to me too. You could win a contest and it would be like, enter this contest and you could win a trip to Disneyland on Walt Disney's plane. That's amazing.
So in 1981, Disney was at a bit of a crossroads, and they were trying to attract a new audience and new talent to the studio. And we had several projects in the works, like Tron and Black Hole and Black Cauldron were both being worked on at that point. We wanted to showcase this, and we wanted to show our new talent. It was like a month tour, and each week we'd have a different group of participants. We'd have a young animator, we'd have an older filmmaker, a veteran filmmaker. John Culhane, the animation historian, was the moderator. We traveled to a different city every day. We'd go to a college and put on a presentation for young people. I was a young person back then. It got tremendous attention. So my week, I got to travel with Eric Larson, one of the 9 old men, Harrison Ellenshaw, who was a great visual effects animator, and John Musker, who was an up-and-coming animator and director. To this day, I run into people who remember going to that college show.
So the airplane was ordered by Walt Disney Productions. Walt Disney Productions' color scheme was tangerine orange, white, and black. And so that was the colors of the airplane. When it moved to Orlando, they changed it to a 2-tone blue color.
We would go out on tour sometimes a week or two at a time and take the characters with us to Ambassador and some marketing people, and we did different cities. So it might be promoting the grand opening of Splash Mountain, let's say, or the studio, whatever it might be. And we hit all those locations, hoping that those folks in those locations would be looking forward to coming down here. So marketing was the driving force. Then we went on tours with a hot air balloon. That would be a character balloon like Mickey. It could be the castle, that, and the birthday balloon. We carried the hot air balloon envelope. The gondolas were two. They would be going to the city, and then we'd fly to that city. This airplane was flown almost 20,000 hours, which is unbelievable for a single type of aircraft to fly that long. When you get an airplane like that and you say to yourself, okay, what's it take to continue going? The decision was made to say, well, maybe we should retire, decommission. You can either be the first pilot to fly it, which is great, or you could be the last pilot to fly it. Well, if Walt could have been with me on landing, that would have been great, but he couldn't. But being the last pilot to lay it to rest and decommission it and have all that history behind you, it was really, really satisfaction to do that. So I was thrilled to do it. Little did I know I was going to be landing on a road, but we did it. So.
Definitely, I guess, some emotion for you when you finally make the last flight.
Yes, it will be, knowing that I'm the one that will be part of putting it as an attraction and having the last flight and being instrumental in accomplishing that, yes.
Once the decision was made to decommission the aircraft and where should we put it, we looked at possible locations, and the best location that was picked was the Disney MGM studio because it had a backlot tour. Now you say to yourself, we're going to land on the road. And then we decided World Drive. There was a stretched piece there about 2,500 feet long that we could get a straightaway with trees all around it and so forth. So we picked that location, took down all the road signs. When you have all this openness, you got the Tower of Terror being built, and the studio on the right, and you got I-4 underneath you as you're approaching it. It's very hard to get depth perception and altitude. You know you have altimeters and everything else. We made sure we knew where we were. So when we did the landing, I was the pilot in command. I had another pilot on board, captain, because it requires two pilots to fly the airplane. I had my flight mechanic engineer on board. And then we had Mickey Mouse. As we approached, it was a very steep landing because the roadway was short. And I had trees I had to clear. And then as we came in and landed, we came to a pretty good quick stop. And then we had a ceremony. We had the characters, and that was the landing.
It was the first operating year, I think, after we opened at the time what we called the Disney MGM Studios, now the Disney Hollywood Studios, that we heard that the plane was out of use and would the park like to have it. And that was an exciting moment for us. We said, of course, what a great historical piece to have as part of the backlot tour.
It was a challenge to get it there. We had to have a big crane on the inside of the park to reach over and pick this thing up with all kinds of harnesses and so forth that were designed by Gulfstream. So it was part of the backlot tour for many years.
The plane was a really significant photo spot on the backlot tour for something more than 2.5 decades. And it was when we began the work to do both Toy Story Land and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge that the plane had to be moved. I said, can we just bring it out to California again? Bring it back to its home. We took the plane out, we restored the exterior, repainted it back to the original Walt's era. To move that plane is not so easy because you have to take the wings off, you have to pretty much take it apart and put it into a truck and drive it cross country. I just think it's wonderful for the D23 Expo guests. They are the perfect audience. They appreciate the history. Finally, everybody can see this is an important relic to Disney's history.
The airplane started in California. That's where it began. I mean, all the history started there. There's a lot of stories, good stories that can be told by this. I could go on for weeks talking about the airplane.
Walt Disney was my family. It wasn't a company. It was our life. And so for me to be able to fly the mouse was all I ever wanted.
It's just exciting as a symbol of Walt and Roy, and their expansion of the business into huge, big ideas.
So you've been watching a video that they're showing at the dedication of the exhibit So Walt's playing at the Palm Springs Air Museum.
Let's hear it from the
Your coverage.
filmmaker. They never get to hear that. Let's hear it for the filmmaker. My name is Fred Bell. I'm the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum. Welcome to our museum, to the Pacific Hangar. You know, the first thing that I have to do is just say thank you. Thank you to the Walt Disney Archives, to all the Walt Disney employees that make this happen, all the unsung faces and people that we will never know that put the artifact back together. I want to say thank you to our staff and to the fact that every time I have an absolutely insane idea, which when they called us and said, do you want Walt Disney's airplane? I said, yes. And Greg Kenny pretty much passed out at that point. He's my operations manager. But I want to thank my staff. I want to say thank you very much to El Paseo Jewelers, who is sponsoring this exhibit. Let's hear it for them. You know, this aircraft, people ask me, why is this aircraft, why did it come here? Well, the answer is so simple. This is a part of Palm Springs history. One of the shots in the documentary that you just saw is literally in front of San Jacinto as the aircraft is flying right over the mountains there. And as Becky said, you know, Walt was involved in the construction of the airport. He actually signed on to the bond measure. With the passage of time in his homes at Smoke Tree Ranch, STR, as we call it, you know, people lose sight of what those were, but this aircraft was here many, many times. So in a way, it's just coming home. It's coming to where it had spent time, and we are very, very fortunate that it's here in California in Palm Springs. So again, to all the Walt Disney folks and Becky, thank you so much for doing that. We really appreciate it. You know, the Air Museum has restored about 60 aircraft over its 26-year history. Everything from Stearman's to, we just finished the F-117A stealth fighter. We just finished the stealth fighter a few weeks ago and put it on display. Each one of those aircraft comes with its own history. There were people that loved it. There were people that nurtured it. There were people that flew it and maintained it. And every airplane has a history. Many times they come to us, they don't need that much work. Sometimes they need a lot of work. And so I always look at this like, you know, Walt Disney was one of my, and has been one of my heroes. I actually have 2 pictures of him up in my home office. And the quote is, it's kind of fun to do the impossible, or something thereof. I'm abridging. But the idea is that when you set out, you don't put bumpers on your imagination. The idea is dream what you want. Think about what could be possible and then set about your task. Don't let the bumpers of your fears or people tell you, I'm getting emotional here, but Becky said don't get, but when I saw that airplane 30 years ago, I said to my wife at that time, and my children were running around all over, you know, Orlando, and I said, that airplane should be in a museum. To think about the fact that, you know, here it is 30 years later, that it's here. And that was Walt Disney's airplane. It's amazing. So I think the next step for us, we have with every airplane that we have restored, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to all those folks that I just mentioned. In this case, the millions of Disney fans, the Walt Disney Company, everybody that put time and effort to get the airplane to where it is. And tonight, one of the questions that I get most often, in fact,
probably the most asked question I get is, I want to see the inside. I want to go into the inside of the airplane. I'd love to see the inside of the airplane. Well, right now, that's not possible. Let's leave it at that. It's not possible. But remember, I said there is no bumpers on what can be possible. And so what Becky and I talked about was, and I said this right off, we have to put the interior back in the airplane. The airplane's not complete until the interior goes back in it, right? So I'm happy to announce tonight that we're going to partner with Phoenix Air Group out of Georgia. They were the operators of about 20% of the G1s in the world at one time. They are going to provide the parts and let's just say the technical expertise for our restoration department, which is about 40 people strong. Any restoration guys here tonight? Give me a woohoo or something. I got the spotlight. There we go. I knew there was some restoration people out here. The restoration department is going to work with the archives, with the Walt Disney Company, and with Phoenix Air Group to restore the interior of the airplane to where we do open cockpit. We'll figure out how to do that. But we'll make it so at some point you will be able to enjoy what Walt enjoyed, which is the interior of the airplane, and then the airplane will be complete. And that's probably going. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. It's 2 years late. It's going to be 2 years from now or a little more. But in a few years, we hope to have the interior ready to go. And we're really excited to make that happen because at that point, I think Walt, maybe you catch him in there. You never know, Becky. He'll be sitting in there and catch him once in a while. But what I'd like to do now, first of all, and again, thank you all for coming out tonight on relatively short notice. So give each one of you a round of applause for doing this. Lastly, I left these people out, and they probably have some impact on me. That's my board of directors. How many directors do I have here tonight? Give me a applause from you that are here. I should thank my board. It's one of the ways that you stay employed, I guess, is by thanking your board. And what I'd like to do now is invite Michael and Becky back up to the stage for a very special announcement. Thank you.
Well, I just wanted to kind of put a button on this by asking you all to remember that tonight is Walt Disney's birthday. It is the 100th anniversary of his 21st birthday. So I think it's appropriate that we raise a glass in his honor to thank him for everything he did for all of us and for having the plane here. So excited. Cheers. So to Walt. And we also have a birthday cake for him, of course. So I don't know how we're going to dance our way off the stage.
Well, I think, Becky, you are in the employee choir. And it would be appropriate to sing a little happy birthday to him. So,
I think it's a great idea. You with me?
Yes.
Let me find the right key because I'm a soprano. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Walt. Happy birthday to you. Congratulations, everybody, for having a new friend here.
That's right.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike. I am not Doobie, so it's me now. I'm here to take over. So how's it going there?
Good. I don't know if you heard the news, but they're going to be restoring the interior of the plane. I don't know if you put that in to do yet, but it should be.
I have not just yet, but I will be the one getting it anyway. So.
Okay.
Let me give you the whole screen here to work with. So what else is
So
going
they said
on there?
at about 2 years.
It's breaking up a little
there
bit.
we go.
Yeah.
Plane, and got some speeches by Michael Vargo and Becky Klein. And then now everybody's having birthday cake for Walt over here.
And we do have a picture of the cake I can share with you guys here. There you go.
Oh yeah, there you go. And here's Jeremiah. Jeremiah tries a thing while Mike Mack watches.
Oh, I'm uncomfortable being on this side of the camera.
I don't know if I'm supposed to talk, but I don't like frosting. That's a lot of frosting.
They said there's too much frosting.
Too much frosting. Okay.
Is that Donald?
The
That looks like Donald. No?
I think it's confetti.
It's confetti? Okay.
So that's really cool that they're restoring the interior. Can you
hear Jeremiah?
Yes, I can hear him, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So that's exciting. Did you happen to get the model of the plane above the display?
Oh, no, I missed that.
Ooh.
I don't know why you need this here when the real thing is behind me, but
it's pretty funny.
Looks like a plywood model maybe, or cardboard model of the plane there above the exhibit.
Is that actually running, or is the wind just blowing the propellers?
There's no wind in here, so I would guess
All right.
it's electric, yeah.
Nice.
And then they have this, we showed this earlier in the stream, but there's the whole exhibit from D23 Expo, including the chair. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole shebang here.
So now are you just kind of free to roam around the museum and check out everything they have?
Well, as we were waiting to go in, we were allowed to roam around the rest of the museum. So we got to see all the other planes they have here and stuff. So that was really cool. And then now I think it's just mostly like people hanging around.
Nice. Well, you get to you're just hanging around in the hangar there?
Exactly. That's why they call it a hangar.
Got it. Nice. You just kind of get to enjoy. Now, are you gonna get into the cockpit? I know that's frowned upon probably, but
as far as I could tell, there's no way to get into the cockpit.
Well, that's just because you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah. Same with the Millennium Falcon at Galaxy's Edge. I've tried, but not
right. No, really cool. You said you didn't get a chance to see Walt's plane over at D23 Expo, right?
Correct. Yeah, this is my first time. Oh no, well, I must have seen it many times at Disney's Hollywood Studios growing up.
I honestly didn't even think about that. I guess I must have too, and I don't remember it.
I don't really remember that either, but if it was there for 2.5 decades, I probably saw it. I remember seeing the Flight of the Navigator ship. That stuck out of my memory. But that's just the kind of person I am. So here it is. It was in Florida for a long time, and now it's here.
Very cool. So we're just kind of hanging out right now. Just we'll be jumping back over to the red carpet for the premiere of National Treasure: Edge of History.
Okay.
But for now, we're just kind of checking out Walt's plane.
So you're saying I can't put my hand down now?
Nope, you are stuck. It is all on you right now.
Okay. Well, you want to learn about Asia and the Pacific from 1941 to 1945?
Absolutely. I can't think of a better topic for Laughing Place.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm getting in people's way here. Oh, now there's a photo montage of Walt.
Oh, cool.
With the plane.
Don't make me over.
My phone battery is going to die relatively soon, so
Okay,
I don't know how long I can promise this will go. But yeah.
Well, I will just drop this question in here for you because you've
Okay.
been able to pay attention more than I have. Are they restoring it to airworthy status?
I do not believe so. That's a great question, but I don't think so. Somebody asked if they're restoring it to airworthy status, but I do not think that
It is decommissioned. It cannot
decommissioned.
ever fly again.
Can't fly again. Yeah. It's just for show. And if you come here in a little over 2 years, you can go into the interior of the plane. What do they call that? The cabin. The cabin.
There you go. That would be cool to see. I guess you're going to have to come back out in a couple years.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do another D23 event for that too.
Absolutely.
Should we take a closer look at the exhibit over here? So I'm told these displays are very similar to what you would have seen at the expo this year.
Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to get over to see this exhibit at Expo either. So this is really cool to see.
Yeah, flight bag, cabin sign. I imagine they'd put this stuff back in there then, right? If they're gonna restore the interior, maybe.
Oh yeah, I don't see why if they're gonna go with original parts.
Yeah, so this is in the documentary they showed a picture of Walt sitting in his seat with the phone next to him that he would use to call the pilot. So I suppose this is the handset for that. Oh, and then this is they talked about this too. Walt had his own set of dials, the altimeter, a clock, and airspeed that he could look at while he was riding in the back. And an ashtray, of course. So they used it to fly back and forth to the World's Fair. It has flown out of Palm Springs numerous times, which is why they said it was like coming home.
What is with the Jack in the Box?
Oh, let's read that. Okay, customized Jack in the Box toy gifted to Walt Disney by Disney legend Harriet Burns as a thank you for taking her to the New York World's Fair aboard the Gulfstream.
Interesting. Thank you. Let this haunt your home for the next 100 years.
Or your plane.
Your plane, yeah.
It says thanks Walt on the banner there. And then this is the seat.
Now, I would imagine they would put that seat back in the plane as well as they restore the cabin.
That would make sense to me.
And Gio, by the way, says very much the same as Expo, this exhibit here.
Jeremiah said that the chair was in a different position at that exhibit.
Okay.
But if you really want to nitpick, that's I guess that's the big difference between what was going on there and here. So what happened to Doobie?
Doobie had to drop out, but actually we are going to jump back over to the red carpet. So Mike, you are off the hook. Thank you so much for the coverage over there.
You got it. I'm going to swing around real quick and we'll say goodbye to the plane over here. And
one last look here.
Everybody, if you want to see it in person again, or if you had never seen it in person, you can come here to the Palm Springs Air Museum to check it out. It's open now, starting now.
Very cool. And tell Jeremiah thanks for trying some things, but to stay in his lane.
We'll do that. Okay.
All right. Bye, Mike.
Bye.
All right. So we are going to jump back over to the red carpet here. Hey, Benji.
Hey. So we're still here on the red carpet. We're going to hopefully be interviewing some more people, but we won't go live. We'll just you can see more of it on our YouTube sometime, probably tomorrow. But we're going to wrap things up here from the LCAP. You can see maybe down there they're doing a photo call, so we still got a ways away to come. But we got all sorts of people here. And we're just getting ready to see what's come. So thanks so much, Max, for joining. And it's really cool to hear about the plane being restored. So did they say they're actually going to restore like the interior so you can get in it?
Yes, they said they're going to fully restore the interior. Within I think Mike said 2 years, you'll be able to actually get inside the plane.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thanks so much, Mac, and goodbye to everybody. Don't forget to check out our YouTube for more from National Treasure Edge of History.
Absolutely. Thank you, Benji. Enjoy the rest of the red carpet and the premiere. All right. Bye, everyone.